Hello again, everybody. Scott Casper, Takedown Wrestling. This interview brought to you in part by the National Wrestling Examiner and Mark Palmer. Thank you, Mark. Joe Heskett recently has announced his departure from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. He joins us now. Joe, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Scott. Thanks for your time as always and your professionalism, but I'm doing very well.
4 years at the Point, you became... I don't know that you became a new and different coach, but by God, you sure have grown.
Well, there's no doubt. It's hard not to grow, and I feel that if I didn't grow, I would have made a lot of mistakes along the way to be ignorant enough not to grow. But fortunately, it's been, an amazing journey here. We've done a lot of incredible things. I've met a lot of incredible people. And at the end of the day, I do feel that this place is significantly better than when I came, and the torch is going to be ready to be passed.
We're talking with Joe Heskett, the outgoing head coach of the Military Academy, and I'm talking about the home of the Black Knights. You're going to be heading where?
Well, fortunately, one of my goals, and it's been stated since I was, even in college, one of my goals is to be a Division I AD. When years down the road, and have a extremely fortunate opportunity to work with Mr. Oliver Luck and his executive staff at West Virginia University.
West Virginia University, and they have made some recent moves to not only improve their position recently in the sport of wrestling, but overall the performance of their athletic department, I think, is indicative of their overall goals. Hiring you for a position that is not even in existence tells me, and it should tell the balance, that they have a new and different look at college athletics. Am I correct on that?
Well, I would say you're absolutely correct, and I don't know if it's new and different as much as it is just a strong vision and strong leadership, and they know the direction they want to go. So for me to be a part of that strong leadership and strong direction is a complete blessing. And having understood the concepts and the importance of leadership throughout my career, and especially here at West Point, there is no doubt that West Virginia athletics is in the right hands and heading down the right direction. And it's not just the wrestling program, but going into the Big 12 and making the moves in the big conference. There's some exciting things at West Virginia University right now.
Now, you've done your homework. An assistant coach at Cal Poly, an assistant coach at Ohio State, head coach for the Black Knights. You did some coaching and obviously undergrad work at Iowa State, where you wrestled. And wrestled well. You learned every step of the way. You've always said this, even back then. I want to be an administrator. You admitted to Gene Smith, I want to be an administrator. You were very open, even when you were coaching at Ohio State. Tell me about the new position, because truly it has nothing to do with you being a coach of a wrestling team.
No, it doesn't, and the way it's come about, is it's really kind of a unique story in and of itself. But at the end of the day, again, just very fortunate to have met Mr. Oliver Luck, and he believes in my vision, believes in my passion, believes in my education, and he entrusts his beliefs in me, and that's going to go a long ways, I believe, because I will work tirelessly for West Virginia University and represent them in the best light. So, again, I believe, just his innate ability to lead, and I feel fortunate enough to be part of that structure, part of his team to make a difference.
You talked about, what he thought of your experience, education, and background. As a undergrad, it would have been easy enough to stop there. But you earned a bachelor's in speech communications from Iowa State in '02, and then went on to get your master's degree with honors, I might add, in educational leadership with an emphasis in athletic administration. And doing so at Cal Poly, I mean, your eyes were firmly on the prize even back in '06.
Well, I try to practice what I preach, and I always have. I've been very fortunate to be around a lot of amazing mentors, a lot of amazing people, Gene Smith, Bobby Douglas, Bill Barger, even my kids coach, and just a lot of great people along the way and close friends. So, for me, it's about constantly improving, and it goes back to the first thing we talked about on this within this interview, I've learned a lot here at West Point. My goal was to grow and to learn, and it will continue to be to grow and to learn. And I've kind of had that concept even when I was a little bit younger. Unfortunately, my grandmother instilled those values in me. So there's been a strong sense of direction, a strong sense of goal orientation, and I just continue to strive for them. The opportunity that came through West Virginia was really a culmination of a lot of different things that have gone on in life. And at some point, my goal was to transition in administration. I don't know, or I did not know when that was going to be, but fortunately, as much as I love coaching and mentoring these young men, I was okay coaching because it's another passion of mine. But now, as I kind of alluded to earlier, the torch is going to be passed from the coaches' ranks to the administration ranks, and my sphere of influence will grow, and now I'll be able to impact the sport in some different ways.
I think that's an excellent place to move right now. Our conversation, anyway, is your sphere of influence. Talking about going from wrestling as an athlete, as an assistant, as a coach, and so many programs with so many coaches and administrators. You've seen a lot. Do you believe that moving into the athletic director's offices can help the future of wrestling, knowing what you know?
Well, I would like to think that it can definitely assist, and I think that, there's been a lot of talk about more wrestlers being in administration, and there's a reason for that. And that's how we can make some of the greatest impacts is leveraging the knowledge of our coaches, but being in administrative roles to kind of cohesively make a difference. Because as a coach, there's only so much that I can accomplish. So we really need to have some of the insight and experiences of our administrators to get things done. So knowing that, really one of my goals, in the long term as an athletic director is to continue to help improve and impact the sport in a positive way. So, I think step one, obviously, within the sphere of wrestling is to ensure with Mr. Mike Moyer and Jim Ravanack, President of USA Wrestling, Rich Bender, that we leverage whatever we can and create a game plan as we continue to get more administrators, wrestlers as administrators into the administrative world. What can we do to continue to impact the sport in a positive way? So I see myself maybe as, one piece to a growing puzzle.
And that is exactly it. It's a growing puzzle. Should it ever stop growing, that's when we're in trouble. We're talking with a guy that, I've known for quite a while, Joe Heskett, an 02 graduate of Iowa State University. You mentioned your grandmother having an impact in your life, Evelyn Nye. Well, she's had an impact in the lives of many, if only by being a very visible grandmother for you. She wasn't going to let you slide, was she?
No, she wasn't, and I share all of this with her. I mean, I almost get emotional just thinking about her because she has angel wings. I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. She is just, she is unconditionally supportive, and she sacrificed so much, and she's just a complete super fan, and she believes in me. She believes in my heart and my direction and my passion for greatness, and she's believed in me from day one. So her support is truly endless, and really because of her, she's put me around such great people. So again, I go back to those mentors, and all the people that I've met along the way. She has helped almost strategically place me in front of them.
But that's what true leaders do, right? I mean, isn't that what you have done? Isn't that what you seek to do even more so? I mean, you want to help young people succeed to a greater degree than they even know they can.
And there's no question about it. It's one of my passions is, again, people that know me, they understand my passion about leadership and about development and about really digging into each individual, whether athlete or not, and really finding that seed of greatness, exploiting it and making it grow and explode. So my grandmother did a tremendous job of that. And again, I look at my mentors along the way, and they exude that type of leadership where it's not just about them. There's a selflessness involved with leadership, a humility involved with leadership, and now I'm continuing to grow in positions under one of the greatest leaders in college athletics to learn from him and his staff. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm truly excited about the challenge and just continuing to grow and learn and continuing to be that person of positive influence.
I don't want to embarrass you, but and hopefully accomplishments don't embarrass anybody, but just listing off a few of the things that have allowed us to see your passion for leadership as you demonstrated. Iowa State's representative at the NCAA Leadership Conference, that was a significant move for Iowa State and for the beginning of your career, I think. You were a board member of the Children's Body Image, a former member of the Major Ray Mendoza Leadership Fund. You were an ambassador and public awareness speaker for the Ohio State Medical Center, founder and chief visionary office for H Leadership, which is a visionary leadership company that you founded in 2009, dedicating its time and efforts toward revolutionizing sport through leadership and life skills. So I guess this is walking down that same path, perhaps with an even bigger spring in your step, so to speak. Now it's with a big university behind you, who apparently believes in what you're doing and wants to see you do it at West Virginia.
No, absolutely, and that's probably the greatest compliment I can have is an administration and a president at West Virginia University and President Gordon Gee. The leadership there is tremendous. I mean, it starts from the top, and to be around such great leaders of education and influence. Again, it's humbling, it's exciting, and I just want to learn. I just want to learn and continue to give back. And we talked about the sphere of influence. It's going to continue to grow and grow, and that will help me provide a better impact for the people around me, for the sport in general, and really, to be quite blunt, leave a legacy of leadership that goes on long after Joe Heskett is gone.
I have to ask you, there was a trip that Iowa State took east to face some programs that surely and historically Iowa State would never have lost to. One was Boston. One was the your team, the West Point squad, and Iowa State lost to both of them. And I got to believe that there was a sense of pride in beating the Cyclones as a graduate and a head coach, but there was also probably a big sense of surprise that Iowa State lost both of them.
Well, for sure, and we wrestled them first that day. And it was pretty cool because one of my other mentors and friends, and I think the world of him, is Kevin Jackson.
Yeah.
He did, he's a great friend. He did a tremendous job with me, and when I made the world team and my development as an athlete. But we're also competitors, so we're coaching against one another. And I knew the fight our guys were going to bring it to the table. That was the difference maker because we were ready. And we really took it to them. We got a few key pins, and it was a huge upset. And it was a lot of fun because, we trained hard to beat one of the best teams in the country, and we did that.
Yeah, it was a big surprise to a sold-out gym there, and that was perhaps one of the great moments for that program's history and having that. It was a triangular, wasn't it? Wasn't it a three?
It was, and then we Boston wrestled Iowa State, and then we wrestled Boston.
Yeah, so it was truly a wonderful, wonderful weekend, perhaps for everybody for the sport. But now we say goodbye to that program. We can't have any more of those types of experiences. Are you excited about the growth of wrestling right now?
I am. I'm very excited about it because it is growing. Again, I think we have to go back to a strategic game plan to capture what's really going on. Again, I look at leaders like Mike Morey at NWCA and other leaders within our sport trying to do great things. Tom Ryan taking the lead at with the National Duels proposal, all the ESPN coverage. There's a lot of good things going on. The one thing I would say is there is so much going on. I just want to ensure that we stay focused on what we have, what our core group's about. We have ever-changing rules going on right now. So even, some of the people that love college wrestling, these rules changing can be a little bit confusing. So I want us to ensure that we're keeping our fan base educated on what's going on, not in continuing to capture the market that we have and growing from that market. But there's a lot of great things going on that we're continuing to expand. Again, I go back to strategic expansion. So we have great leaders in place to do that. We're going to continue to capture audiences out there that are interested in our sport. We're seeing more sports pick up down south. There's just a lot of good things going on with the sport of wrestling.
I hope your door at your new job at West Virginia will remain open as it has been all these years between the two of us. I wish you luck. Who would you like to thank, not only for the job that you will be taking, but for the jobs that you have had, and those people that have you've named obviously some of them, but we'll give you that opportunity.
Well, and again, just in a quick recap, I mean, the people here at West Point have been unbelievably awesome. This has been one of the greatest experiences of my life. The officer representatives, Lieutenant Colonel Messett, Todd Cook, and the rest of the ORs have been great. The administration here has been very supportive of the climb that we've made. Very grateful towards the leadership here, General Caslin. I want to thank my team, most importantly, the young men that I've had the pleasure to coach. I think that they will be able to look back on their years here and know that it wasn't just about being the best wrestler they could be, but being the best person and future officer that they could be. We really took a key initiative to instilling those values. And I want to thank my coaching staff, specifically Paul Young, who has been an extremely loyal coach, and he's one of the best assistant coaches in the country. Besides that, family and friends, and I'm very much looking forward to going to work with Mr. Luck and his staff. We have some great things ahead of us, and it's a blessing.
Evelyn Nye's favorite baby boy joins us today. Joe Heskett. Joe, it's always good to talk with you, but now as the exiting head wrestling coach at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, where you've made your home for 4 years, you'll now become the new Associate Athletic Director for Student Performance at West Virginia University. And it is a big, big, big one indeed. Nice job there, Joe, and we appreciate you keeping us in the loop. Again, we'll look forward to a continued open-door policy as you look to hopefully put some of your ideas into place, not only at West Virginia, but use those as leadership points for the balance of college athletics. We love it. We appreciate the time today.
I appreciate you, Scott, all you do for the sport, and thank you very much for your time.
You bet.